next participant who will share her experience is none other than Divya Unni. Srimati Divya Unni is an acclaimed actor in films, but beyond that, she is also a very beautiful dancer, a seeker, and she successfully runs a Bharatanatyam school, Shri Padam, in the United States. We are so happy to have her as a part of our Natana Kairali family now. She's such also a wonderful person. I would like to now share Srimati Divya Unni's video.
Namaskaram. My name is Divya Unni. I'm a Bharatanatyam practitioner and performer from Kerala, currently settled in the United States. I had the opportunity to do the Navarasa Sadhana workshops, Phase 1 and Phase 2. It was a mind awakening experience, and it is something very hard to describe through words. It's an experience, a journey into the deeper realms of our mind. So phase 1 was more like an emotional release for me, because we are always training ourselves to be not getting too emotional, not get too excited. And as actors or dancers, when we have to get to emotional peaks in acting or dancing, then it drains a lot of energy. So phase 1 was me learning how to do it in an organized way, how to get to those emotional peaks when it's needed in our art form in a very structured way. Of course, after the first 4 or 5 days of completely being in awe of the entire system and process that's being taught to us. And in phase 2, we learned how to use these techniques into our art form, be it Bharatanatyam, be it acting, whatever art form that we are practicing. So the very first day, Guruji told us, after this workshop, you will not simply look at something. You will look and see with your eyes and your mind. I didn't understand the meaning of that initially. But as days progressed, I saw myself being able to see the many layers of aesthetic beauty hidden in almost everything. And I noticed that I was able to be more organized whenever I planned my Abhinaya sequences. The eye and face exercises that are an integral part of the Navarasa Sadhana is also very useful when we apply it in our own art form. Besides all this, the most important part that we get to learn and cherish is that discipline, that dedication, and the passion an actor or a dancer should always have. And Guruji so lovingly, so effortlessly he teaches us. From the minute I see his face on screen till he signs off after class, there is constantly things to learn, to imbibe from him. Be it the impromptu performances that we do in class or the videos we submit, the kind of attention and liberty that Guruji gives us, it is very strengthening. I remember Guruji saying, I will only give points to enhance your work. I will not criticize anybody's work, because everybody is doing it so sincerely. Everybody is very sincere to their art. This kind of humility and complete surrender to his art is Guruji's secret to successfully taking us to this vibrant world of rasas. Every time I sit down with an Abhinaya sequence now, in my head I can hear Guruji's voice saying, "Aa samayatingal," at that time. I have not met Guruji face to face, but every time I am with my art, I feel his presence, and I think it is a very precious gift that a student can have, and it is happening only because of Guruji's blessing. It is truly an honor and a blessing to learn from you, Guruji. I would like to share a few of my favorite Guruji quotes. So the first one is, a sage can close his eyes and see things, but for actors, they should open their eyes and see things, because they are not only seeing and experiencing but also telling the experience, sharing it with the spectators. And the second quote is, a realistic movement inside makes the outside movement possible. And finally, my favorite, go on searching for knowledge. Guruji, thank you so much for all the inspiration and blessings. My sincere gratitude and pranams at your feet. Namaskaram.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Divya. That was really beautiful, and especially the quotes really show that that it you put a lot of thought to say these words. Thank you so much again. Next, we have Prachi Sathi. Srimati Prachi Sathi is an accomplished Bharatanatyam dancer and has been practicing this art for almost 2 decades. After her initial training with Guru Vaibhav Arekar, Prachi received further guidance under Guru Lata Raman. Presently, she is getting mentored under Guru Rama Vaidyanathan. Prachi, very welcome. Thank you so much for sending this talk to us. Thank you, Prachi.
Namaskaram. The Navarasa Sadhana workshop with Guruji Venu has opened my eyes literally to the innumerable possibilities of what one can do and achieve with our emotions. Have you ever wondered that at what point does an audience look at when they are watching you perform? Yes, of course, your eyes. The sadhana not only has given me the tools of how to strengthen the power of my eyes, but has also brought awareness as to what you can achieve by practicing these exercises regularly. This is an absolute must for dancers, actors, performers, teachers. I express my deepest gratitude to Sir for tirelessly working day and night to impart this wisdom to all those who seek to learn from him. His contribution is priceless. Heartiest congratulations on the 50th workshop, and here's to many, many more to come to benefit the world of art. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Prachi. Next, we have Georgia. Miss Georgia Champi is an actor, a researcher, and currently an AHRC-funded PhD candidate across the University of, oh my God, it's very difficult to pronounce, but a very important university, researching the relationship between the actor's affectivity and expression across traditional and contemporary theatre practices, employing a philosophical, phenomenological, and inactive approach. She has graduated from ITI Singapore, which is where we first met. She has trained Navarasa Sadhana under the guidance of Guruji Venu in Singapore and at Natana Kairali. Again, with Georgia, it is a long collaboration, a long association, and we are so happy that you sent us this beautiful performance and this talk. And also so happy that this research that you are doing is so connected to this practice. Thank you so much, Georgia. Welcome.
Hello, I am Giorgia Ciampi. I come from Italy, and I am an actor and a researcher. And I'm very, very grateful to Venuji for giving me this chance to share with you what I am thinking through and practicing through at this moment. I'm working on a PhD at the University of Exeter. The theme is a relationship between emotion and expression in the actor, the experience of the actor across different cultures. And I trained as an actor at the Intercultural Theatre Institute of Singapore, ITI, where I encountered Venuji and Kudiyatam and Navarasa Sadhana And since then, I have incorporated in my practice, in my preparation, in my creative work as an actor. And I have decided to go deeper into the practice. I followed a workshop in 2019 with Venuji in Irinyalakuda, and I am still continuing now to explore and hopefully go further. So as I brought my practice into my daily routine, I have attempted to experiment with it. And so I have tried to bring the feelings of the bhavas into my body through improvised movement, through the selected movement from Kutiyatam that Venuji introduced to us. And sometimes I worked in complete stillness. And when I do that is in order to focus on what is happening in those moments leading up to the visible expression of the emotion, to the full expression of the emotion. And this is what I want to explore today, and what I'm exploring today through the video that I'm going to show you. So I find that both Kutiyatam and Navarasa Sadhana have a very special relationship, create a very special relationship between emotion and time. So for this reason, I decided that I would explore how to sustain, to extend, to amplify the feelings in those moments leading up to the full expression of an emotion. I think as actors, this gives us a chance to elaborate and expand each phase of embodiment of an emotion, zooming in on each sensation, explore each sense in a way that we wouldn't be able to do in everyday life. So it's almost at the same time as we are performing the emotion, we are also exploring the insides of this emotion, the nature of this emotion. It's almost an embodied philosophical exploration of that emotion. At least that's how I feel about it when I practice it. So this is what I'm attempting to do in this small presentation, is to show a little bit of this inner inquiry that's going on. What are those inner actions, invisible actions, which are still physical, but are invisible, and which contribute to the expression of the emotion. So I'm not talking about what I'm thinking about, the images that I have, the associations that I have, the psychology, not at all. I'm not talking about the content of my mind, but how I am shifting my attention to feeling through the senses. So Venuji, in fact, in the Navarasa Sadhana, he centers the training around the senses. So here I will be focusing on Shringara Rasa and the sensorial exploration of those moments leading up to the full expression of the emotion. And in order to do that, I will keep the external expression to a minimum. The smile will be contained, the fluttering of the eyebrows for this emotion, which is the kind of codified aspects of this expression, will be there, but they will be contained. So exactly for this reason, so I can focus on the inner sensorial exploration. And I will work on activation of the senses, one by one, in a sequence similar to the one Venuji taught us with Shringara, and thinking about what kind of instructions he gave us and how they activated my senses. So, for example, he told us that the breath for this emotion is calm like a thread. He talked about the specific moment in which the image appears in front of our eyes, or even the concentrating the taste on the tip of our tongues in order to facilitate the flowering of the smile. So I will use a voiceover to describe how these instructions affect my feelings from inside, and how they help build an inner structure for summoning Shringara Rasa. So what we see outside will be the outer structure, and it will be very small because the movements will be very limited. But what will be very rich will be the description of the inner structure. That's what the sensations that we are focusing on moment by moment, and hopefully it will be visible how it's affecting also, or it's coming through or shining through the expression in the face. So I am just going to show you the video now. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it's a stimulus for further exploration and reflection and conversations afterwards. Thank you.
Next, we have Srimati Meera Gokul, who will share with us her experience of Navarasa Sadhana. Most welcome, Meera Chichi.
Namaskaram, Venu sir, and greetings to all of the family and extended family of Natna Kairali. When I was asked to say a few words about Navarasa Sadhana workshops, I had to really go back to day one, phase one of when I attended in 2019. Some of the things that I remember from that day one has been really significant for me. So the first thing was we lit the lamp, as we do in that traditional way in Kerala, and everybody from different parts of the world or the whole group gathered around, and we were in the Kalari, that beautiful space that has been graced by the great gurus of that area. And the lamp was also below the painting of the great Dutch painter Vincent van Gogh, and that particular phase one was dedicated to him, and especially to his interest and attention given to the five senses in his artistic process. Immediately that made me alert and alive about my own sensations and awareness of the place and people around me. It also was a reminder that we were standing somewhere deep-rooted in tradition, but that there was also an invitation to open our hearts and minds for the inspiration that different philosophies and practices across different artistic lineages offer us. The second thing that comes to mind is the discussion on Shiva as the greatest actor. Now, I've heard of Shiva as the supreme dancer, but to think of Shiva as the greatest actor, especially in relation to the magical potential of some of the great ashans of Kudiyatam, was a reminder about the magical potential of the art itself to transport you to a different time and space. And the third thing that I remember, amongst many other things of that day, was that when we got up to dance and to move around and do the kalasham, we were told to sit in that Ardhamandalam stance. And Sir said about the human beings having limitations, that as a human being you can do only that much. But the moment you sit in that Ardhamandalam and you harness the power from within, as an actor, the possibilities are limitless. So these three things, the magical potential of the art, the aliveness and alertness required in my whole being, as well as the realization that there is the power within us to create that very magic. These things were really significant and set the tone for the workshops that followed. And Navarasas and Vyabhichari Bhavas are all topics that students of dance learn. I myself have learned it, and I found an old notebook of mine from my student days in Kalakshetra where I have tabulated everything. And the Vyabhichari Bhavas are listed in great detail in that column. And it goes on to different pages as well. But it has remained theory. Even though it was taught to us with great robustness, it remained as part of the theory. And maybe those of us who wanted to know more, we would have read up more, attended talks, attended theatre workshops to find out the meaning behind all these words. But what Navarasa Sadhana workshops offer are a safe practice within which to find out how to put these things into practice, how to put these ideas into practice, how to access that knowledge and experience that is deep within us, that we gather from people and places, how to access that with intensity and with honesty. And when we do that, we try and experience the different aspects of the human condition. It's not that we have experienced everything in this world, but we experience and come a little bit closer to understanding different aspects of the human condition. And that is really quite special. It has a healing capacity too, which I experienced. I came in 2019, exactly a year after my father passed away, and I felt that a light had gone out of my life. But coming to these Navarasa Sadhana workshops, coming to Natna Kairali, I felt that there was a light trickling in through that crack. And it rejuvenated me, it re-energized me, gave me a renewed vigor and passion for both life and art. And I'm reminded today of a conference I attended just 2 days ago called Dance Democracy. And it was about the role of dance in a democratic society and what can dance contribute in a democratic society. And a wonderful dancer called Alexandrina Hemsley said that dance is not a shield but a shelter. A shield is something that you protect oneself with, but a shelter is something that is open and welcoming to all. And Natna Kairali and Navarasa Sadhana workshops was exactly that. It was a beautifully comforting and rejuvenating shelter for me at a time when I needed it the most. And what is unique also about the sessions that I noticed, and I've shared this at the end of the last phase, I remember, that there is no judgment, and there are no corrections made. We just do. And in doing, we experience. And in experiencing, we grow. We also grow by watching others doing and experiencing. And that is such a valuable and enriching experience. So my heartfelt thanks to you, Venu sir, and to all the participants who were there in the different phases I have attended, for your generosity of spirit and for sharing the space together. It has been an absolute joy meeting each and every one of you. And my heartfelt thanks to Hariharan sir, Rajiv sir, Prabhaji, and of course Nirmala Chechi, Kapila, and all the staff in Natna Kairali who make Navarasa Sadhana workshops such a success. And I really hope, Venu sir, you carry on with this amazing resilience that you've been showing through this pandemic. It has been amazing. Even online workshops have been so charged with vibrancy. And so thank you very much. Thank you so much. And I wish you even more success.
Thank you so much, Meera Chechi. Srimati Meera Balchandran Gokul completed training in Bharatanatyam at Kalakshetra, Chennai. She has also trained in various other art forms such as Kathakali. She is based in UK, and she is a beautiful dancer, a beautiful teacher too. And she has attended 3 phases of Navarasa Sadhana workshop under Guruji Venu. I forgot to mention this in the beginning. Thank you again, Meera Chechi. And again, our relationship with Meera Chechi is a very, very long one. She was my mother's student of dance during her school days. So it's a long association. We're so happy that you are part of us. Thank you. Next, I would like to invite Srimati Gayatri Krishnaveni Lakshmanan. Srimati Gayatri is one of the senior dancers of Bharatanatyam from Chennai. She is a daughter and disciple of the legendary Srimati Krishnaveni Lakshmanan of Kalakshetra. Srimati Gayatri has had intensive training in Bharatanatyam, Carnatic vocal and instrumental veena at Kalakshetra. She is a well-known and a senior dancer, and thank you so much for being a part of this today. Welcome to share your thoughts. Thank you. I think Gayatri ji had to leave. So we're going on to the next talk, which is by Srimati Vidya Pradeep. Srimati Vidya Pradeep is a Mohiniyattam practitioner based in Trivandrum. She's a senior disciple of the renowned Mohiniyattam dancer, Srimati Dr. Neena Prasad. She has also trained 3 phases of Navarasa Sadhana workshop online with Guruji Venu. She's an upcoming and beautiful dancer of Mohiniyattam. We go on to Srimati Vidya Pradeep's video.
Namaskaram. Navarasa sadhana is like a yogic practice, I should say, especially for actors and dancers. For me, the daily sadhana, the daily upasana system has been really enriching and transformative. It was like a self-exploration process as well. I am fortunate to finish 3 phases and the sadhana is continuing, and I must tell you, it is like it has really helped me a lot to have awareness about my own emotions and emoting as an artist and also in my normal daily life. Guruji's exposure as an artist, as an actor, and also as a teacher in the world theatre is such that he has very intelligently helped us to bring out the real you without even making us know that we are undergoing a transformation, we are undergoing an evolution. Yes, Guruji helped us to grow organically, giving much personal space in art and thought, accepting our own strength and understanding, accepting our limitations. Ever grateful to Guruji for making me part of this journey. Thankful to the entire team at Navarasa, the artists and the managing team, especially Prabhaji and the family of Guruji. Wishing Guruji good health and all the happiness to influence more artists across the globe and thereby contribute more to the world of art. Thank you.
Sanjukta is the co-founder of an interdisciplinary initiative called Beej in Mumbai, which is engaged in exploring the creative process and improvisation and alternative methods of classical dance pedagogy and collaborative performance since the year 2005. Performer, choreographer, educator, and curator, Sanjukta Wagh has trained extensively under Srimati Rajashri Shirke in Kathak and Pandit Murli Manohar Shukla in Hindustani music. Her engagement with theatre, honed by playwright Chetan Dattar, and Navarasa Sadhana training with Guru Ji Venu. Sanjukta, we would love if you could say a few words before we air the performance. Is this okay for you? We would love to hear from you your thoughts and your experiences.
It's so lovely to be here, and good evening to everyone. I also want to say that this performance is not a performance, it's an offering, and I constantly remain a work in progress. But one thing that I learned at the Navarasa Sadhana workshop is to have a non-judgmental eye, because the kind of time, the intimate time we spent at Navarasa's sadhana with Venu Ashan, where he used to just sit there and absorb while we were ranting and raving and touching deepest chords of emotional experience. He used to just take it all in. and be such a powerful presence that his presence gets carried beyond the workshop. And since I've done 3 workshops with him, I don't think they were even phases at that time, but I've done 3 intensive 20-day sessions at Natana Kairali, and the experiences have been unforgettable. I'm so happy that Shirin is here, Nataraj is here, Kani, Neha. They're like family because we all unfolded together and watched each other transform. And this deeply, deeply transformative experience, as all of you have experienced, goes much beyond the 20 days. I would also like to say that when Venu Ashan invited me to be part of this, I was very, very honored and touched. And I asked him, should I send a 5-minute thumri? And he said, no, you can send something of even 45 minutes. So I had no idea how this was going to be streamed. So I have sent excerpts from my dance theatre piece Rage and Beyond, Iravati's Gandhari, which is a retelling of the Mahabharata from the point of view of the blindfolded queen Gandhari. And the reason I'm able to access this performance is also here. Rajika Puri, who is here in this room, had invited us to present it at the Dancing the Gods Festival in New York, and she got it beautifully recorded. So I would really like to acknowledge her here. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have the video. And I'm just offering this, but I think before, um, if anyone would like to speak a few words, because it's rather a long performance, so I'm just uh, giving that to you as a warning. Kapila, if you'd rather just put it on YouTube, that's also an option. But Venu Ashan, thank you so much. The deepest gratitude. All of you just remain in cellular memory, if I can say so. The experience of being there with you and being part of this deeply, deeply cleansing and spiritual experience has really sowed the seeds of a lot of, not just mine, many, many creative processes. So may the sadhana grow and spread, and incredibly honored to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sanjukta. I think, as you rightly said, I would just like to invite Gayatri ji because I just saw her. Gayatri ji, we introduced you once, but we couldn't find you. So if you could kindly say a few words before Sanjukta's performance. But Sanjukta, we want to watch it today. I think that would be a great way to end today's evening. And I apologize for all the technical difficulties that we have encountered. So we hope that all the performances will be telecasted in once again on our YouTube channel in an organized way, so that justice is done to the beautiful performances. Apologies for that. Over to Gayatri ji. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. My namaskarams to all of you who are here on the journey of the Navarasa Sadhana. My Sashtanga pranams to Ashan Venuji. Namaskaram. And a wonderful evening for all of us as participants to explore within. So I have been wanting to become a part of the Navarasa Sadhana for like almost 2-3 years, but it just never happened. And when I first saw it online, I was thrilled to the extreme. It is not merely a sadhana, it is a upasana. When we invoke the divine within, we become herself. I am a Devi Upasaki, and every time Venu Master talks about the beautiful Muladhara or the chakras or the Kundalini that has to be awakened with the inner senses, or the Swara Vayu which has to be felt before enacted. I only think of the Lalita Sahasranama. He has been multiple times he has been quoting about the Lalita Sahasranama. And for me, it is not a sadhana, but it is an upasana. To quote the Navarasas in the Lalita Sahasranama, that is how I relate this sadhana for myself. So, in a brief second, I want to show you how beautiful the sadhana has been beautifully given to us in a capsule form. And Shringaram, it is Shringara Rasa Sampurna. She who is complete in Shringara with her Lord, Kameshwara. Who else can excel in Shringara but the goddess herself? Adbhuta. She is Anaga Adbhuta Charitra. She is the one who is blemishless, uncomparable, and one who has a wonderful and unexplainable history for herself, the one who has no beginning nor end. This is our sadhana too. We begin, we don't know when it ends, and when we end, we don't want it to end. So it is ongoing process of learning within, not without. Veeram, she is Mahavirya, the valorous one. She is Mahavirendra Varada, the one who bestows on those who are heroic. She is Veera Mata. She is the one who has given all this Veeram to all of us. And when we explore the Veera as Ravana in this Navarasa sadhana, I can always imagine, as Master used to tell us in class, please look for the details. Do not just see. See who is sitting. See the Lord Shiva sitting. See Parvati sitting. See both of them laughing and playing with each other. That is the visual that comes to me whenever I do Veeram. If not for this sadhana, I would not have imagined such minute details in every rasa that is being taught to us. Even if it is online, I did not miss anything in these series. Raudram, she is Raudrini. She is Rudra Rupa. She is Mahakali. She is Mahakurnita Raktakshi. Every time Sir tells us the Rakta Mukharagam is very important for a person to develop the color of Raktam on your face. It is just not the color. It is the feeling within. Otherwise, how would we be able to enact Bhima with such vigor and Raudram? Or Kannagi for that matter. I enjoyed doing Kannagi in my second phase as I could feel Kannagi within me. I just stormed everybody and I wanted justice for my dead husband. If it is not that Raudrini who invokes us within, how can we even feel it in our intimate senses? And when we came to Hasyam, we had so much laughter around. In fact, I requested Guruji to let us all open our mics because I wanted to hear my friends laugh. It actually gave us so much happiness within. When we are all living in this mundane world with our own karma, day-to-day chores, this sadhana time was the best time I could ever relate to anything in my life. I laughed out aloud and I forgot myself. One day I rolled on the floor crying in laughter. So that was Hasyam for me. Never did I realize that compassion or karunam, karunyam, both are separate. It's sympathy and empathy. And when Guruji told us the beauty of the two, I realized that you can be sorry for yourself and then you can feel the plight of others too. Never was I so selfish in experiencing the pain within. As soon as the moment set in with the chanda and maddalam at the back, with the I felt so sorry for myself. In fact, during this time of the sadhana, I went through a lot of troubles myself. But I lost my little baby cat, Virupakshi, who was just 2 years old in a massive heart attack. Especially immediately after I finished the second phase of Navarasa sadhana, I felt Ishta Jana Viyogam. Even when I was recording the Vyabhichari Baba, I never felt that bad. But I knew now how those Vyabhichari Baba training makes us a better human and a better individual. If not for the sadhana, I would never have gone out to explore within. As Guruji rightly says, there are so much to learn. This is a sagaram, not even one sagaram. There is 7 sagarams that I need to cross before I can reach my final journey of Nirvedam. And this is what the sadhana has given me. And I am so honored and blessed to be a part of the Navarasa sadhana. And I hope with all this upasana that I am being taught by Ashan, I really hope that I become a better performer, a better dancer, and a better human to look out for people in Daridryam, to feel Karunyam, to feel Karunam, and much, much more. Thank you for this opportunity to let me speak my heart. I had nothing planned for today. Whatever I spoke, it is she, the Devi, manifesting inside me with all my energy that has given me what I am today. Namaskarams to every one of you, and I am blessed to be continuing the journey with you. Namaskarams.
Thank you so much, Akka. Thank you so much, and for gracing this occasion also.